Good morning, students. Welcome in English class. Today we are going to start our second lesson, the brook. Here the narrator is not other one but the river itself. Okay, so let's start. First of all, we will read the poem and its meaning. Here the narrator is saying, I come from the haunts of the coots and hern, I make a sudden sally. That means the poet wants to say that the brook starts from a place where the coots and herns are the water birds. They stay most of the time. It suddenly appears sparkling in the sunlight. Okay. By 30 hills I hurry down or slip between the ridges, by 20 tops a little town and half a hundred bridges. The river is saying that the poet uses a reference like the number of the hills, tops means fields, and bridges the brook has crossed many times. Till last my Philip's farm, I flow to join the brimming river. For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. Here the brook says that its last stop is Philip's farm. It says that the men are born and they die, but it always flows forever. So it is eternal. I chatter over stony ways. It says that whenever I passes from the stony ways, then I always talk to them. Due to this, the brook's tremendous sound is hard with a lot of variations. Also, its spiral movement creates tiny bubbles. Whenever it strikes against the stones, it creates bubbles. You always see that the river takes twists and turns. It never flows straight. The brook flows in a curvy manner because at one point the path curves and it veers away. The brook flows by many fields and barren places and where the soil is infertile. Whenever it passes, I wind about and in and out with here a blossom sailing. So the poem is saying, winding its way through the cultivated and uncultivated land and four lands, the brook provides home and breeding grounds to the willow. Willow means trees. It always gives the shelter to flowers and trees. And here and there a foamy flake upon me as I travel with many a silvery water break. As the brook passes over the golden colored sand, form of floats over its surface. The brook sparkles like silver lining. You can see the silver lining of the river, and it always joins the brimming means flooded river, over watery river. During its journey the brook carries along whatever come in its way. It moves with a strong mindset to join the over flooded river. The poet once again repeats that human beings whose life is limited, but the river's life is unlimited. I slide, I gloom and glance among my skimming swallows. The brook goes on slipping, sliding, gliding, dancing, and lingering. Swallows hunt for food from its water, and sunshine dances on the riverbed. Means fish always takes something from the river. In the end, I murmur under the moon and star. I bramble wilderness. I linger in my shining bars. I loiter round my creases. In the last, the river says that now I become tired. As men in the old age also got tired, it has no energy. In the same way, the river has no energy now. It becomes very calm. I curve and flow to join the brimming river. For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. In the last stanza, the brook curves and finally joins the brimming river. It says that a human being as compared to the eternal life of the brook, so it will soon join the sea and continue to flow endlessly. So the life of the river is endless, but human life is not. Human life is permanent. So thanks.